Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday, the 1st of August 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Llewellyn Tarot for today's reading. Let's see what these cards have to say about this day. And because the reading is for the first day of the new month, I always think it gives an insight into that month. So I think this is for the 1st of August, but I think it's also going to tell us certain info about the month in general. And it's going to give kind of a preview as to what the energy is about. So let's see what that is. So the first card. Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. Amazing. The Page of Cups. Okay. And the Page of Swords. Okay. So court cards represent people or characteristics. And looking at the characteristics first, the Queen of Pentacles is an artist. She's a woman who is extremely good at design, and she's able to create a wonderful environment. You know, like going to a party and the host is just wonderful, host or hostess. They make you feel at ease. They've created an environment where you feel welcome, and they get you chatting and introduce you. It's the difference between just showing up somewhere and having this wonderful hostess look after you and making you feel like you just belong. Or it's the difference between someone who lives in a house and doesn't know how to decorate at all versus a man or a woman who then takes that space and makes it a home and looks at each corner and designs something special. So the Queen of Pentacles, Pentacles being the element of earth, which has to do with the physical world, the way things look, money, career, finances. The Queen is able to take any of those topics, those themes, and she's able to redesign them or to design them to create perfection. So it's financial prosperity and abundance and investing your money so that you get a wonderful return. It's taking a space and designing it so it creates and evokes feelings rather than just being a space. It's taking a piece of land that's barren and dead and planting grass and poppies and flowers and trees to make it seem absolutely beautiful. So that's what the Queen of Pentacles allows you to do. So if we're looking at this for August, you're going to be very successful in all of these areas. So work, you'll be able to make a huge contribution. Physically, you'll be able to make changes to the way you feel and the way you appear. You'll be able to redesign your living situation. You'll be able to look at things like travel. And you'll be able, even looking at trivial things, like let's say the Queen of Pentacles goes on holiday, right? And she's given a horrible little room staring at a brick wall. She's the kind of person who can go to reception and explain things in a lovely way so that she gets taken from that room and it's replaced with a wonderful sea view, and it's just gorgeous because she's the person who's able to take a circumstance, a situation that's less than ideal, and she's able to make it better. Okay, so that's something that will support you on this day and in August. The Page of Cups is someone who's willing to learn emotionally and who's willing to take a risk when it comes to new relationships. And the Page of Swords is someone who's willing to be educated, someone who's willing to learn, someone who is humble enough to say, I don't have all the information, but I know where to go to find out, and I can listen and I can learn, and I realize that I don't have all the expertise, but I'm willing to be taught. So those are the positive characteristics that really help you. In terms of these appearing as people, I feel that this is going to be a busy day, but it's going to be a busy month where we've got certain people who are very capable and who are making the most of things. We also have people disappointing you emotionally because they don't know any better, or you disappointing other people because you put your foot in it emotionally, and sometimes saying the wrong things because you don't have all the facts and the info, but your lips are still moving. So that can create certain problems. So the cards are saying that your biggest gifts here on this day and in August are your career and your physical environment and this design ability to make things wonderful. The gift also is that you're teachable and emotionally you're willing to grow. But on the downside, it means that you can get the wrong end of the stick when it comes to reading a situation, a social situation. Like if you feel someone is giving you the cold shoulder, but they're actually not, and then you start gossiping and the whole thing blows up, then it's because emotionally you didn't quite perceive the situation correctly. And also, you could spread misinformation or make a major error when it comes to the facts and figures that you then need to backpedal on and correct and amend. So the warning is that emotionally, don't jump to conclusions. And when it comes to the facts and figures, make sure you do your homework, make sure you research something, especially if you're speaking up, or let's say you're writing an article and there is information in that article, it needs to be correct. Like if you have your own blog and you're breaking a news story and it turns out afterwards that that was fake news, then people are going to be less inclined to trust you as a news source. So getting it right in that sense really does matter. We've also got this queen who's in charge and who's capable, and she's focused on work. But then the pages can be a bit of a distraction. And we've got these two men who may create situations that are problematic. And then the queen has a choice. She can either continue making things more beautiful in her own life, or she can say, do you know what? I can help them out and sort things out for them. If that comes up, please refrain from that, because the pages only learn by sorting out their own mistakes. If someone else does it for them, they're not going to learn and they're not going to progress to being the knights and the kings and queens. They have to learn from their own mistakes. And also, the Queen of Pentacles is meant to focus on her area of expertise and to make that better. If she is solving his problems or his problems, then she's not using her skills and talents, and they're not appreciative anyway, and they won't learn anything. Interesting. So relationships, if someone seems to be very inexperienced and seems to be a problem, or if that's the gut feeling you get, then believe that. It's very likely to work out that way. If someone makes a move on you or expresses an interest, and it turns out that, wow, there's chemistry here and we see things we agree on certain things, but he does seem to be very inexperienced, or he needs a lot of my help or support, then believe that the rest of the relationship is going to be that way, to contain that kind of imbalance between one person who's in charge, who is an expert, and another person who's just starting out and who's always going to need a lot of help. So it's interesting because when it comes to new relationships on this day and in August, it seems that there's the potential to connect with people who either hold you back or drag you down, or who take more from you than they give you, and to exercise some caution with that. Yeah, so it seems like the key thing here is relationships, and not to waste your energy on things that aren't going to be receptive or appreciative of what you do. Okay. Right, so the Queen of Pentacles is able to beautify any situation. The Page of Cups, in connection with the Queen of Pentacles, is able to learn about relationships and to make progress. But again, it's better if you feel like you're the student learning something, rather than the teacher saying, okay, I'm kind of educating this person about relationships. So if you find that you're in a situation where it's unfamiliar and you're getting something out of it, then you're making the most of this combo. You're growing on an emotional level, but don't see it as permanent. and don't see it as something that's guaranteed. And then finally, the Page of Swords. Again, if you meet someone who you can learn from, then that's going to be something to look at. But if you're in the situation where you're just the teacher and you're showing someone else, that's kind of interesting. What am I saying with that? It depends. So if you're gonna be in a situation or several situations where sometimes you appear as the teacher, the mentor, and you can help someone else, and other times you're the student and you're learning from another person. And what I'm saying is that if you're the student, that's going to work much better for you because you're actually interested in learning something. But if you present yourself as the teacher, or you find you're being labeled as the mentor and as the teacher in a situation, just make sure whether that person is actually willing to learn or whether they just expect you to do things for them. It's a little bit more tricky because you're going to be aware of, what you want to get out of a situation. But when it comes to other people, you can't be that clear because you don't know what they're thinking. So it's safer to educate yourself about feelings and ideas and communication, and so that you can add another string to your bow so that you can beautify things even more in your life. But if you find you're doing a lot of teaching and it seems kind of a bit iffy as to what people are actually trying to take from you, then just be a little bit cautious about that and use your energy or have some boundaries in place so that at least things balance out. You're getting as much as you're giving. Number-wise, we've got 3 court cards, and the court cards count as 1. So 1 and 1 is 2, and 1 is 3. 3 is about communication and new beginnings. So there is the potential for lots of new relationships to form here on this day and in August, acquaintances, colleagues, people you work with. But to keep an eye on that dynamic and that you're not giving and getting nothing in return. Make sure that you engage in situations where either it's a bit more balanced or you're getting the learning from someone who seems to be wiser and more experienced from you. Interesting. Okay. That could lead to something new in terms of new friends, new relationships, but also a new area of expertise, something you can educate yourself on, or a relationship that is very unfamiliar and that teaches you about other people in a way you've never come across before. And that may be positive, but it may not. You may meet someone who's so unreasonable that you've never come across that before, and you're like, wow, this has really opened my eyes. And that's not great. Or you can connect with someone who's totally like no one you've ever met before in the past, and it opens up your eyes and your perspective on the world. And that then is a positive thing, because that'll enrich your experience. And again, it comes down to, is this something where I'm getting something out of it too? And if the answer is yes, great. But if you're just being kind of bled dry here, then just be aware of that and put a boundary in place. Okay, so that's what I get for you for the 1st of August here. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.